It's like we have agreed to first identify what makes sense. Then we all agree now that's not what we're going to do. You know? So we need to change our society. We need to change the leadership of this country. We need to have leaders who have different, styles of doing things. We need to encourage the I don't know how I can say it, the emergence of new leaders. And this is why personally, if you ask me, I'm very happy. And I really pray that this movement does not dissipate. I want these young people to join politics. I want them to join leadership. I want them to paint a picture of a better country for all of us and do some of the things that they have told us they want to see being done. And just bad manners. There is no other explanation, by the way. There are people who feel threatened by the fact that you can have automatic voter registration. People want to control the numbers that are on the register. And you can see some of the complaints that are coming from young people about the frustration of obtaining IDs. They are just games that are played in Kenya. We have seen the mail-in ballots in the US. There is no reason why Kenyans in diaspora can't mail in their ballots to DC or to wherever it is, even to Nairobi.
Now, when you talk about the Gen Zs and political action,
yes,
taking political action, so we have a situation where there's we've not had IBC constituted since the debacle of the last election, yes, and there's a process to reconstitute it. So at the moment, there's still an open space. Like even these Gen Zs who are organizing, they're still having trouble getting ID cards.
Yeah.
They're still having trouble, like we don't know. We know the process has started. We don't know approximately how long it's gonna be until when a new IBC is reconstituted. And even out here in the diaspora, we actually in a darker place than even where Gen Zs are.
Yeah.
Because we don't have continuous registration.
Yes.
And there's a lot of issues, like IBC would typically surprise us. They would tell us like what happened in the last election. They told us like 3 weeks before that, we are coming there within 3 weeks and we're going to be there only within a 1 week span. You've traveled from Seattle, Washington. Imagine someone is expected to travel from Seattle, Washington to either LA or to DC to come and register to vote. And then they have to do the same thing again to register.
Yeah.
And then they have to travel again to come back and vote. So there are these issues that I think, we've had them talked about a lot, but a lot of people are not seeing movement. Like, for example, this IBC issue.
Yeah.
Approximately when do we expect to have an IBC constituted so that people can start creating these political formations?
Yeah,
Senator.
so I think by the end of September, in my own estimation, we should have the process coming to its tail end, because we already passed the law that came from NADCO on reconstitution of IBC.
Mm-hmm.
And there was all the organizations that are required to present names for representatives had done so.
Okay.
There was a dispute on the representative by the political parties liaison committee, PPLC, and I am hoping that issue will be resolved because we are ready to go. There are many things that are not happening because of that, but as you said, getting of IDs is a process in Kenya that is ongoing. Registration for voters, because the secretariat of the IBC is still there, is ongoing. What we are not able to do are by-elections. Like now I have 10 by-elections, 7 in the county wards, and 3 members of parliament, including the most recent one in Ugunja, that was caused by the appointment of Honorable, what's his name, the MP for Ugunja.
The MP for Unguja.
The CS for Energy now, Opio Wandai.
Opio Wandai, yeah.
So there are those 3 by-elections. But I have interacted with this issue. I was told the same in Houston. I was told the same in Seattle, that in fact registration here does not happen continuously. And every time the issue of diaspora voting and involvement of diaspora in civic activity is raised, there's always the question of budget and resources, that then the IBC claims that they are never given money in time and in sufficient quantity for them to be able to do the things that are required to be done. Suggestions have been made, because you live in the US and you've seen how registration of voters here happens. You are given your driving license, you are registered. You're registered as a voter. There is no reason why it doesn't happen in Kenya, other than just Bad manners. There is no other explanation, by the way. There are people who feel threatened by the fact that you can have automatic voter registration. People want to control the numbers that are on the register. And you can see some of the complaints that are coming from young people about the frustration of obtaining IDs. They are just games that are played in Kenya. We have seen the mail-in ballots in the US. There is no reason why Kenyans in diaspora can't mail in their ballots to DC or to wherever it is, even to Nairobi.
Yeah. People used to do that to get passports. People used to mail in passports.
That's what I'm telling you. There is no reasonable explanation as to why it doesn't happen other than just our own bad manners. Kenya is a society that we need to have a conversation generally about our ethos, about the things that we believe in, about the things that are important to us. We have never had that conversation as a country because there are things that happen there and it doesn't make any sense to anyone anywhere else. It's like we have agreed to first identify what makes sense, then we all agree now that's not what we're going to do, you know? So we need to change our society, we need to change the leadership of this country, we need to have leaders who have different styles of doing things. We need to encourage the I don't know how I can say it, the emergence of new leaders. And this is why personally, if you ask me, I'm very happy. And I really pray that this movement does not dissipate. I want these young people to join politics. I want them to join leadership. I want them to paint a picture of a better country for all of us and do some of the things that they have told us they want to see being done. The first place to liberate, by the way, is Parliament. Because all of these policies, all of these problems you're having, like, why would you have only one officer in the consulate in New York, or down there in LA, knowing that they serve millions of Kenyans? There are people, even in Texas, the numbers of Kenyans are so many. There is no reason why there's no access to consular services in those areas. But it requires resources. So who is the person who has the control of a pass? Just like here, the control of the pass is with Congress. Even in Kenya, the people who allocate resources for all these organizations and to release the money is Parliament. So I am hoping we will have 204, if not more, young people coming to Parliament, people who have abided by, like somebody talked about Article 73 of the Constitution. Article 73 of the Constitution sets guidelines for leadership. And there are 3 guidelines. You have to be credible, you have to be suitable, and you have to be competent. You know? So when we discuss competence, even in electoral politics, unakuta mtu mwenye clearly hawezi kufanya hiyo kazi anaingizwa. So what anaingianga aje?
But Sasa Senator, you know, when you tell us and you're in the inside.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the difficulty that we have. So there's people out there, of course, who want to get into leadership.
Yes.
But there's a majority of people who just want to go about their business.
But this is what I'm telling. This is why I'm telling them.
Yeah.
If the youth movement has shown us anything, is that the power is with you.
Yeah.
It is not for you to look for politicians to help you to do this. The young kids have shown you that they actually have the power.
Yes. So this is 1 second, Mika.
Yeah.
This is a turning point. You know, like whatever we experienced on June 25th was a turning point.
Yes.
You know, like in Kenya's history, it has not been tested on the ballot yet. You know, because we've not had any elections.
That's why we are saying we need to channel this energy into political action. And it is not just about June 25th. The entire movement, the entire mobilization, the awareness of the issues, the sort of support that they gave to each other to ensure that they succeeded, it is the same when it comes to political mobilization.
Yes.
If it can be directed to that, I am telling you, Parliament will change.